Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Healthy Cooking with Shayda. This is where I teach you how to make simple, healthy, delicious meals that are salt, oil, and sugar-free. Today we are going to be making a divine Mousse De Chocolate. Now, how did this come about? A couple of months ago, it was my mom's birthday, and I really wanted to make her something special. And she asked me to make her something chocolatey. So this is how this recipe came about. And I'm going to share it with you. You might have seen me posting pictures of what I made for Mom, and a lot of you had been asking for the recipe. Well, I think it's the perfect time. It's the holiday season, and I think this is a perfect time to get this recipe out to use. And it uses one of my favorite fruits, which I am sure that you guys are probably tired of me talking about it, because you guys all know it's pomegranates. And yes, I will be using the pomegranates off my tree to top up the chocolate mousse. So let's get started on this recipe. The recipe will be in my website at healthycookingwithshayda.com. So that's where you will get the recipe. But it's super easy. We are going to use 2 HAAS avocados, and you want them to be fairly a medium to a size large. And hopefully when we, look at that, nice avocados. You don't want them too soft, because I don't want them to be black inside. So we're going to put this in here. A good way of taking the pit out is putting the point of your knife and just gently taking it out. There you go. And then we're going to take a spoon and we're going to literally just scoop out this avocado. So we are going to be using 2 of these. Where's my other one? All right, so we've got 2 avocados now into the food processor, and I've tried this in the food processor and in the blender, and it's a lot easier in the food processor to make this. But if you don't have a food processor, then you're going to have to make it in a blender. So 2 avocados already in here. We are going to put the secret ingredient in here, which is beans, cannellini beans. We're putting cannellini beans in here. We are going to be putting in 1 cup of cherries. Now these were frozen cherries that I thawed out. And you're going to want to chop them up a little bit, because if you don't, then you're going to have little chunks of cherries, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's however you like it. So I've gone ahead and I've chopped them up. Then I've got deglet nor dates that have been soaking in 1/2 cup of water, and we are going to use the water that we soaked the beans. So don't toss it out. We are going to use it. So I am going to be using, I have wild vanilla powder that I use, or if you want to use regular vanilla, the liquid vanilla, just make sure that it's alcohol free and sugar free, because a lot of times they do add alcohol. And I know that in Trader Joe's they do sell one that is alcohol free, so you can use that. Any of the products that I'm using today is on my Amazon favorite page under Healthy Cooking with Shayda Amazon favorites. It is on those, so you can go take a look at the products that I use. We are going to be using pure cacao powder. This is by Nativas Organics, and it is non-GMO. So use, I'm going to probably be using about 4 tablespoons, I'm guessing. So let's put that in here. Because after all, this is a chocolate mousse. I got to tell you a story, and I think the reason my mom wanted me to make a chocolate mousse is because back in the day, I used to make a lot of chocolate mousse. But back in the day, I was also using Grand Marnier, and I was using, you know, a lot of alcohol, should we say, when I was making my desserts. So it's one of my favorites that I used was the Chambord liquor. Oh, it was so good. But I don't cook with that stuff anymore, so that's the way it is. And we're also going to be using almond milk. So let's put, now the recipe calls for anywhere from 1/2 cup to 1 cup, or maybe even 1.5 cups. But what I suggest is that you start out slow. Start out with 1/2 cup, blend it, then add 1/2 cup more. It's always easier to add to a recipe than to try to take away from a recipe. So just remember that. So let's start with a half and see where that gets us. Which I know we're going to need more, but at least for right now, it's good to get it started. There we go. And the first, when I first want to start this, I always pulse it and get the machine going, and then I'll start it on high. Okay, so we're going to need more. So now I'm going to add another half a cup. You don't want this really runny. So that's why I'm suggesting that you go slowly when adding your almond milk in here. Once you've had it running, just stop the machine and scrape down the sides and check your consistency. And I think we're probably pretty good. I'm going to run it a little bit more because I want it a little bit smoother. Okay, now there's two ways of going about this one. My dear friend Tammy Kramer from Nutmeg Notebook introduced me to these 100% pure unsweetened chocolate chips that are by Santa Barbara Chocolate Company. I will post a link to their website so that you guys can get these chocolate chips. These chocolate chips are phenomenal. Now, me and my mom and my family, we like to take some of these chocolate chips, put it in the batter, and just pulse it gently so that when you're having some of the mousse, a little bit of that chocolate gets in there. But you don't have to, so it's completely your choice. But I am going to add some chocolate chips to this and show you what I mean, how we do it. And these really are, and I know it's hard to show you, but they are really just little chocolate chips. So we just put a little bit in here. And we're just going to pulse. And that's it. So now we're going to spoon this out in some beautiful little dishes, and I'll show you how we finished it off with the pomegranates. So our Mousse De Chocolate is ready. I have put them in these little crystal bowls here. Now, the way I'm going to top this off, and you don't have to do it the way I do. You are more than welcome to put strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, any kind of fruit that you want. But because it is pomegranate season, I am putting pomegranates that are from my tree. So these pomegranates literally came off the tree, and we de-seeded them, and now we're going to put them on top of this. This chocolate mousse is so rich, it's so decadent, you would never know that there's beans in here. So please don't tell your guests that there's anything in here. Let them enjoy it, let them taste it, let them eat it, because you literally do not taste the beans in here. So we are going to put pomegranates on top, and it just looks so pretty right now for the holidays. And you can put as much or as little as you want. There's no right or wrong with this. And then let this sit in your refrigerator for at least 2 or 3 hours. The taste really differs when you have it chilled as opposed to fresh from the food processor. I am going to add just a tiny bit of chocolate chips on top because we have a guest coming over later today and he loves his little chocolate chips on top, and he loves the chocolate chips mixed with the pomegranate. So this is ready. I hope that you and your family and your guests are having a wonderful holiday season and that you will enjoy this at your dinner table. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, share and like our page. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me at cookingwithshayda.com. I'll be happy to answer that. So once again, thank you for joining us and have a wonderful holiday season. Thank you.